Om. Om. ओ ईश्वर मेरे को ताकत दे ओ ब्राह्मा ओ सेक्रेड ओ डिविनिटी मेरे को ताकत दे गिव मी द स्ट्रेंथ द सोर्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग गिव मी द ट्रुथ and wisdom in my quest to find you. In my quest to find you, give me the truth and wisdom. Give me the courage so I can slay the demons and the devil, O eternity. Embrace me. I make myself receptive to you. I surrender to you. I surrender this body and this mind. Do whatever you want to do with this. That's the best prayer. During meditation, then you would be given everything without even asking. Today, the Satan, the demons tried to penetrate a thought, but it didn't work with me. It don't work with me because of the strength I carry. Don't work with me. You see, I will tell you something very briefly and very quick. If you look at my legs, if you are in close vicinity, and if you look at my legs every day, I wake up. I have very small sleep every day. I sleep very less because of the work I do and the devotion towards the spiritual practice, devotion towards the meditation. Because of the energy I carry, this body is becoming feeble and feeble every day to carry that kind of energy. Do I have any regrets? Absolutely not. Life is not meant to feel regrets. Life is not meant to feel any type of guilt or sadness. Do I regret it? Because I know it would eventually lead me. It would eventually lead me to the bodily demise, if you understand. It would, it would eventually lead me to the bodily demise. Not that nobody can call it that I am consciously or I am aware what path I am going. Of course I am aware because I have transcended this experience. If you understand, everything is interconnected. To pay attention everything that I am telling you. Of course I am aware. I am making a very aware choice. I am making a very aware choice. And the choice, for me, most important thing is to deliver the truth and wisdom and to bring clarity than my own body. You see, I know through my own experience, and I know through the experiences of sannyasis, the sages, the meditators, the potential yogis, the yug, the cavemen, the powerful people, the wise people. I know my own experience and through the experience of them that it would happen. What happens is when your body becomes feeble to carry the first manifestation of what you essentially are. The first manifestation is life energy, prana. We use the word from Sanskrit, prana. Prana becomes so powerful. You see, prana becomes so powerful and so potent that that body cannot sustain for long periods of time. So life moves on. That's the course of the nature. But it is also exception because a yogi and a meditator willingly does that because of the perks. During this spiritual practice, yogi and meditator is given a lot of perks, the advantages, the side advantages. I hope you understand the term. And one of those things, the yogi has no fear now. So it speaks from the source. It makes itself available. You see, remember, mind you, I used itself. But I know you know that I speak very fluent English. So pay attention. It basically willingly makes itself receptive, because nobody else or very few people are doing it right now. That's why you have become like that. You are going through depression. It kills me from inside. You are suffering. It kills me from inside. I wish I had the way that I could take it away from you. But unfortunately and sadly, everyone has to walk on this road. Others can help you walk and can walk with you, but nobody can walk for you, if you understand. Rumi said that, and he was a brilliant mystic. He was enlightened. There is no doubt in my mind. Rumi Rumi basically was enlightened. There is no doubt in my mind. And Rumi was a mystic. And Rumi said that, if you understand. Rumi said, it's your road and your road alone. Other can help you walk. Other can even walk with you. For what are those others who are helping you? Others like me. What are those others who are walking with you? Your partner, your spouse, your immediate family. But you still have to walk. You are the one who is going to complete your journey. Today, these words from Sacred are very significant for you, because I am seeing more and more people, unfortunately, are going through extreme depression. Please understand something also here. The geometry of the cosmos slightly changed. You wouldn't know that, but we know without even thinking. You see, just watch my previous post, just the very latest, basically, just the very latest post in which I clear to you there is understanding which happens without thoughts. You see, you understand? I'll give you an example to make you understand. The energy is running through my body right now, is just pouring out. So I have to keep a charge of my body. Otherwise, the energy I would emanate to you, and then you would be climbing walls without even knowing why you are doing that. So I have to encompass myself right now and organize also my body. You see, I am going back and forth while I'm still in a profound state of meditation. Can you tell? I would give you an example. Okay, so a lot of people, so the cosmic geometry slightly change. How do I know that? I just know. You see, sometimes you just know, and you can call it your intuition, basically. You understand? Sometimes you just know, you can call it your intuition. Trust your intuition. You would more, intuition is you. You would trust yourself, but not your mind. Your mind would betray you eventually. And if you subscribe too much importance to it, it would kill you. And it would move on to the next one and the next one. It's just like a parasite. Do not subscribe importance. Do not listen to, no, excuse me. Do not trust your thoughts. Listen to thoughts. Maybe thought is telling you something need to be taken care of on the immediate basis. It's a defense mechanism. So go ahead and take care of that. Protect yourself. That's what I am saying. But when you are by yourself and you look at other people, they are happy or they seem happy. They are not. You become restless. Okay. For one, you do not know what they are going through. They may pretend to be happy. That's number one. It just depends how strong of a person is that can hide the feelings, what they are going through. You see. Number two, they may be happy. Every in Toltec tradition, the brilliant people who actually originated in southern Mexico. There are pyramids over there where there is a saying that man becomes God, which is the same thing. Man is just the manifestation of God, you see, or any creation is just the manifestation of God. Creation is not human centric. I have mentioned that. Those Toltecs, the esoteric knowledge of cosmos, the Toltecs basically those Toltecs mention that every head basically is a world, if you understand that. Please understand this statement. Please understand this statement. Those Toltecs said that every head is a world. I hope you are understanding. Isn't it true? They are not talking to you fiction. They are not talking to you some third world country uh, customs. You see, that's what the first thing is coming in your mind. You see, you have judgments, titles, opinions about everything. If you understand, you love to attach titles. India, third world country, Mexico, third world country, numerous countries in Africa, third world countries. Third world countries, according to your definition, you see, because you are materialistic. You just think that anyone who has development infrastructures and speak English is first world country and very educated. In speaking English is no standard of being intelligent or educated, academics, or you see, it goes by academics. There are brilliant people throughout the world in those so-called third world countries that you label, and you feel proud that you live in America or any of the developed society. But when we look through you and we scan you, we come to we come to realize there is nothing to be proud of, because the more you are away from yourself, the more miserable you are. You are involved in short-term memories. You are involved in your psychological drama, your narrow band, stretch the rubber band. So it becomes from narrow band to a broad band. You see, third world countries, according to your mind frame, there is no standard to prove if they are. So that's why, in that context, through your definition, I use the term. I do not consider these countries third world. I think they have produced brilliant people, mystics. They have produced wisdom. Rumi was a mystic, where he was from Persia, Iran, Iraq, and some part of Sham, which you understand as Jordan or something. You understand? That's where he was from, Persia. It is, you can say that was also a third world country, but look at the magnitude of their wisdom. India produced the limitless, if you understand. India produced the limitless, numerous, countless amount of people who carried the words of truth and wisdom throughout the entire world. You see, we still are doing that. Mexico produced brilliant amount of wisdom. The magnitude of wisdom was unbelievable. Indians, the Toltecs, you see, those were called Indians in southern Mexico. They originated 3,000 years ago. The esoteric wisdom, they encompassed the esoteric knowledge, which was confined to a particular sector only, depending on the level of their receptivity. It was confined, because if you tell it to an average person who is totally involved in the psychological drama, he won't have a clue what you are saying. Basically, there comes a time in your quest of truth and wisdom in your life that when you speak, you do not make much sense for rest of the generic humans around you. It's fine with me. I accept my way, and it's more important basically for me to spread the truth and wisdom, so your suffering would end, so you would see more clearly. No matter who you are, I do not discriminate on abstract standards, on color, borders, where what's your family background, what religion you follow, what gender you are. All these things I don't believe. I do not even subscribe myself as male or female. Just go figure it out. I am personally experiencing it. What I am is important. What I am is not so much. You see. Anyway, I would just leave it to it. In this moment in time, I would just leave it to that. You can go a little more profoundly. I can go to the limit of it, but I am not here right now. So geometrical position slightly change. People are going through tremendous amount of depression, anxiety, OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder. Or have you ever noticed all these disorders are confined to your mind? And I have mentioned it numerous times that demons and devil penetrate through mind. There is no other way to penetrate. They cannot get into you but through your mind. Mind is abstract reality. That's why it becomes their ally. Because what they want basically, it gets thrill on it. I hope you are understanding what I'm telling you. I'm pouring out pure wisdom from the source right now. So I would tell you there is no option of quitting. I even the day before yesterday, or yeah, day before yesterday, I mentioned that in one of my, because my heart cries out for you. You understand that when you are going through there, optioning out in this moment or quitting is not an option for you. Don't even think. You understand? Because if you want to go to extreme, or if you think that you are thinking of something extreme, I am very careful with my words. Try everything in you can and just keep going. If you understand what I'm saying to you, try everything that you can and you just keep going. You do not quit. You see, this quitting is not an option anymore right now. No matter what you are going through, I can tell you through my own experience. You know what happens sometimes? Let me tell you this. A mystic perceives beyond sensory perceptions. Your five senses all outbound, basically. Survival has been taken care of. You get to explore yourself, what you essentially are, not your psychological drama or your body, but you, which is running through the body. You see, now this body is a way for you to transcend what you are going through, which is making you miserable. Are you understanding fully what I'm saying to you or no? Are you comprehending what I'm saying to you? I am saying this body is your body. Thank you so much. Your body basically is a way for you to transcend these disorders. So your body is the very tool. Your body is the very tool through which you can take care of it. The time is now. This time is very important. So optioning out or quitting is not an option. You understand? Because if we think about, God forbid me, extreme, if we think about, God forbid me, um, if we think about of if we think about of extreme, if we feel so overwhelmed that demons and devil are going to penetrate the idea of extreme, basically, then think it this way, that try everything in your power that you can to hang in there and understand the very body. God forbid me, when we think of a stream, we think to destroy the body, so everything would be end. Because on times it feels us, I have been there personally, otherwise I wouldn't have mentioned that. On times it feels so overwhelming that even moving from the couch or the bed for days and days seems very overwhelming. I have been in the very same experience. There was long time ago, 20 years back, because 15 years or so I am practicing mysticism one way or another, and I have brought myself to a point. I came out of it. I am the hope right here sitting in front of the camera with this accumulation in mind, that I came out of it. I didn't listen to the demons and devil, because they want you to suffer, and they are parasites. The more suffering we go through, the more happy they are. You see, that's demented. You understand? That's demented. That's demented, and that's basically the devil, which does that, if you understand, and it gets thrilled on the human misery. Because once we are out of our body, if you understand, please understand this, the option of transcending the very disorders which one way or another are previous karma is no longer available. That's number one. So there is no way. The karma is not imprinted on in your brain. Please understand that. Brain is an organ. It has a physicality. I hope everything you are following. Brain basically is an organ. It has a physicality. Mind, however, is not an organ. Mind is something that you wrap. Wherever you go, it goes with you, with or without your body. You see, there are things that I see from naked eyes you cannot see, because I have made myself receptive to sacred and divinity. I have devoted this vessel that you are looking at, my body right now. I have devoted this vessel solely for the sacred and Brahman, so your misery can end while I bring the clarity, if you understand. So now your mind always goes with you. It is around your Atman or your soul. It is there, whether the body is there or not. And mind is the entrance. Mind basically is the gateway through which demon and devil. So create a distance between yourself and mind. Do not let by your thoughts. You make a lot of assumptions about someone and then you suffer. You get scared of things while there is nothing to be scared of. Look, first of all, as far as fear, one way or another, we are heading to the same direction. One way or another. You have two choices here, whether you remain scared or you get rid of the fear. You see, either way you are going to the same direction. Can you deny that? Argue with me, please. I'm inviting you. Either way you are headed to the same direction. You basically have two options. You can live with fear while still heading to the demise, or you can live without fear and make this journey as pleasant as humanly possible, because you have created sufficient distance between you and your mind. You can create the distance between you and your mind, but mind would still go, but you would have more charge on your thoughts. You would see more clearly. You see, just like that rubber band, that you wrap a rubber band around a finger. If you take a rubber band and you wrap the rubber band around the finger, that rubber band, the very rubber band is the mind. And finger is your body or your Atman. Without body, it is Atman. Without body, it is soul. You do whatever it takes to create the distance between you and your mind, but do not quit or option out. I'm repeating myself. You understand that? Do not quit or option out, because you can still do something about the misery you are going through. My heart goes out to you, you see, and I would keep sending you healing, and I would keep sending you strength so you can hang in there. And imagine and take yourself, imagine and take your body. Imagine and take your body. Not that imagine, but I'm telling you the truth. You would realize, I'm telling you your very experience. I'm not talking fiction. Your body is a medium. Your body is a medium. Your body is a way. Your body is a medium. Your body is a way. Your body is a tool through which you are going to do something about the very misery. If you give in to misery and you feel overwhelmed, then you cannot do anything. You see the irony in that. You know the meanings of irony. I'm sure you do, because all my seers and loved ones and my followers are their modem. You see, their modem is English compatible. Their modem basically is their modem is English compatible. All my seers, my viewers, my followers, I'm sure their modem is English compatible. There is no doubt in my mind. No matter what part of the world they are living, their modem is English compatible. So once you are understanding the international language, international acceptable language, English, you realize what I'm saying. You realize the depth. Your body is the tool and the very medium through which you are going to do something about what you understand as disorders. But I can assure you, disorders are nothing. Disorders are nothing but the previous karma. You see, we get really, really hopeless and we get really sad, mostly hopeless and sad when we look around and we see happy people. We see what they are projecting on media. We see how they are coming across to you, how they are conducting the very process of your life. First of all, you do not know what they are going through. So don't make assumptions. Do not make the very assumption that they are happy. And if they are happy, in reality, let that be. And be happy for their happiness, you see. Be happy for their happiness and do something if you are not as happy. But stop looking outside of yourself. Otherwise, you would always remain restless. Do you understand that? Otherwise, you would always remain restless. You see, if you want to find a solution, you have to turn yourself inwards. Inward is the only way out, my loved ones. You understand that? Know it profoundly. You see, miracles happen. I live in miracles all the time. My entire life is miracle. I would give you an example, not to prove a point that how potent I am, but I will give you an example anyway. You see, a few days back, I mentioned, I do not talk about my personal life because here we are very, very concerned with commonwealth of humanity. Our personal life, if we just keep talking about our personal life, then this is for nothing. This time is precious for me, and so are my words precious for you. You see, all this I'm saying without having a single thought in my mind. How about that? You can be like that too. Anyway, moving on. A few days back, I said that I am going through some really tough times in my personal life, but I didn't tell you the nature. What was it? Nor it is important. Neither I'm going to tell you. And tough time, but I knew one thing. I have done the right thing. I knew one thing, that truth is holding me because what I am claiming is true. You see, I'm not falsifying. I'm not trying to forge. What I know is true. And once you realize profoundly from you, you know you are right. You just know. It's intuitive. You know you are right. You know somewhere there was something unfair happen to you, if you understand, and you don't want to let that happen. You know that you were right intuitively, so you fight for it. You don't give up easily. And that's what I do. I fight for something when I know I am right, when I know I am the truth, when I know I am as crystal clear in my intentions as the transparency of a glass which has been cleaned recently, or crystal, if you understand. I know I was right, and I knew I'm going to hold my ground because entire divinity and cosmos is with me, because I go in accord with it. I'm not somebody special. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a messenger. I'm not a Bible, Quran, or Torah thumper. I'm just a person who had made myself available for divinity. You can get there too. Anyway, moving on. So I was going through that time, but I made the claim. I made the claim. I did the paperwork, and I made the claim. And then I looked at Cosmos. I literally went out and I opened my shoulders like that, and I said, you see, you are seeing me, you are perceiving me as much as I am perceiving you. It's a promise, and you know more than me. I have made the claim. I have submitted the claim. What it is, it's not important, okay? What it is, it's not important. I'm not going to tell. It's very private. And I said, I leave it on you. You see, I do not connect, or I do not expect a reward from you. You see, I would give you regardless. I would give you unconditional. I am not attached to your reward. I am not attached to the result of it. I am not someone who would become miserable. I am not. I'm far away from it. I know what I'm doing, and I know when I am doing, and I know also why I am doing it. I see the cause and I see the effect of it, and I can perceive 500 years in the future. So I said, you know as much as I do, and you know probably more than me. But I am a part of you, and I leave it to you. I am not attaching myself to the reward or the result of it. You know what the word we look for, basically. You know what the the possibility, the odds in rather clear English here. I have to maneuver a little bit of my mix of Indian and British accent to deliver it so everybody can understand no matter where they are on the globe. So what happened is I said, I leave it. I have done what I was supposed to do. I leave it. That's it. It's your responsibility now. Do it whichever way you want to do it. I'm not attaching myself to the reward. As Shri Krishna or Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, which is the sacred book of Hinduism, karma, follow what I am saying. These are the most precious and extremely wise words that you would ever listen. Shri Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, which is the sacred book in Hinduism, that karma does not cling to me, Arjuna, because I am not attached to the reward of it. You understand? Do you understand, or do you want me to elaborate? It's very easy to understand. There is nothing more to clarify. These words are extremely potent. Shri Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, karma does not cling to me because I am not attached to the reward. That right there would enlighten you if you took it seriously. Know that, please. Okay, moving on. So I just left it. I said what I was supposed to do, I have done it from my side. When I am saying I, it means I'm now talking through the perspective of individual self, if you understand. When I am saying I, now I am talking through the perspective of individual self. Most of the time, you yourself are perceiving through the perspective of individual self, isn't it? Isn't it? You think that you are a separate person. You think you have separation. You think you are a separate person. But the way I look at everything, everything is one. You see, I won't go into it. I don't want to be too deviate, or I don't want to be too bent. Have you ever bent over for, you like to bend over? I don't want to be bent from the main topic. So I left everything, every thought, every greed about it. And I said, I am leaving it on you. And I would not make myself miserable, even if I have to wait eternity. Please know, my loved ones, my followers, my seers, there is weight in everything. Nature does not know you as your separate self or individual self. Remember, I just mentioned, nature encompasses and holds everyone's wealth, not just your common wealth, but everyone's wealth. And I go in accord with the nature. You see, I wait. Somebody said, patience is a virtue. I understand what you are saying. Some people think this statement is very wise. You understand. I understand what you are saying. Some people think this statement is very wise. Patience is a virtue. It is rather a religious statement, the way I look at it. Because religion tells you the system of a reward. Remember, I was just telling you about when Lord Krishna said he was not a religious person. Hinduism is not a religion. Make no mistake. On the other side of the coin, your mullah, your pastor, the father, or the rabbi, no matter who that is, would train you through the greed of a reward. You do this, you would go to heaven. You do this, you would go to hell. Isn't it? Isn't it the system of reward and punishment? They are trying to get something good out of you. What is the point? And when you say patience is a virtue, again, you are offering some type of a reward. Virtue, okay, I do the virtue, so I would go to heaven. Isn't it in your mind when you wait? Isn't it in your mind when you wait? Don't lie to yourself. You can lie to anybody, but you cannot walk away from yourself because you carry yourself wherever you go. So make it clear in your mind. You see, it is. I look at it as, yes, patience. I didn't wait just because it's a virtue. I just wait because I understand there is weight in nature. There is weight in life. And I need to consider everyone who's attached to the bigger scheme of things that cannot be seen through your naked eye. You understand? And today at 3 o'clock, when I checked the paperwork on my computer and my laptop, it was approved. Do you know what the odds were? 1 in million. 1 person in million people in the circumstances given would approve. And that 1 person is me. Now you can say, yes, can you please pray so I can win the lottery? Or you can say, yes, can you, if you ask me, can you please send me healing? Yes, because I'm going through depression, or my family, unfortunately and sadly, is taken away from me, or I have OCD, or I am anxious, any of the disorder, I would do everything in my power, including sending you healing, everything in my power to make sure that you get better. That's my goal. But if you ask me for the money, money is not a problem. I can get money like this if I so wish. Money has never been a problem for me, you see. I was raised also in a very rich Indian family. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm just saying money is not a problem. But the thing is, you ask for money is pathetic. You see, the way I see it is so pathetic that I can't even begin to tell you how pathetic that is. You see, Lord Christ, I'm not a religious person, by far you know that. Lord Christ said, excuse me, Lord Christ said very clearly, Lord Christ made it very clearly and very simple for humanity. He said it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. Follow my words. You see, I'm not a religious person, but I hold Lord Christ on a very high scale because of his wisdom and the service to mankind he did and he performed. Because of that, he was brilliant. And he said very, very clearly, it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of the needle than it is for a rich man to go to heaven. And it is very true. If you quit looking at his statement through Bible, which is a fictional book, just like Quran and Torah are, they are all fictional books. All the religions are human constructs made by humans. They are not coming from divinity. They are not coming from sacred. I know it. If you take Christianity aside and only just look at his statement, you would realize what he was talking about, and it could not be true more. If you understand, it could not be true more. This statement is full of wisdom. Full of wisdom. Is there some, how do you become rich? You see, how do you become rich? First of all, you do everything, or at least I would say for the most part, most humans try to, accumulate karma, negative karma, on their Atman and soul, the activities they perform to get rich. Corporations are making trillions and billions and God knows how many dollars and paying you $9, $10 for the work you are doing. You see, $9, $10, $11, $12, or even $15 compared to the money they are making. You are killing yourself for a job that if you drop dead, in 1 week they would replace you and they won't even blink their eye. That's your reality, pal. You understand what I'm saying to you? So yeah, that's how they become rich. And when they become rich, they want more and more and more. So such a person, obviously, there is no way that such a person is in a state of peace or happiness. They may project that, they may buy drugs, they may abuse substances, they may get high on alcohol, sex, women or men, no matter. They can do that, but there is a compulsion inside all the time, the feelings of restlessness, because I can see through humans, so I know it. Anyway, moving on. That's why he said that. So if you ask me for the money, if you say, yes, I am going through tough times because I have disorder and I am struggling with my life, or I am fighting for custody and I feel I'm a healthy person, or I want to walk on the path of truth and wisdom, I want to be like you. I offer everyone. People are, what the word I'm looking for, people are mesmerized wherever I carry myself in person, my body, they are mesmerized. And they say, what's your secret? Every now and then I get that question, what's my secret? My secret is I have become receptive. I have worked on a level that there remains nothing to explore. There is always, it's the limitless journey of knowing. It's the limitless journey of knowing the mysteries of the cosmos. It's the limitless journey of knowing the immensity of cosmos, the universe, the Brahma. Explore, explore. This is why you are here. You are here to explore. As Rumi said, you are a Rumi said it very clearly. You are an explorer. You are a lover, you are an explorer. Lover is not the physical term, he said. It goes way beyond and way profound than your understanding of lover is. Anyway, moving on. Don't want to be too bent, huh? So what happens basically? If you say that you have genuine problems, I would do everything in my power to send you healing and make sure you get better. I understand that much. That's the reason in the beginning of this video, I told you do not quit, because quitting is not an option available to you. You see, just imagine quitting or thinking of extreme or anything like that is not an option anymore. As long as you are in the body, you can do something about it. You can do something about your karma, which is not attached to your body. You see, but to understand what I'm saying, you would have to understand first that you are something beyond the body, isn't it? Isn't it what you would have to understand, that you are something beyond the body? Body is just a tool for you to use so you can transcend the karma, you see. So that's what is happening. Anyway, so that's what it is happening here. The body is a tool to transcend the karma. And God forbid me, if we think about the demons and devil, what they are projecting in us, if we may, God forbid me, if we listen to them, they would destroy us and they would be very happy, if you understand that. So do not listen it. Just hang in there and do everything in your power, everything. No matter if you have to drag on time sometimes. I know I have been there. I'm not here to challenge what you are going through. As a matter of fact, on contrary, I'm here to tell you what's going on so you can see clearly. If depression is so overwhelming, for example, hypothetically speaking, that you cannot even move from the couch or bed, okay, lay and pay attention to your breathing. Can you do that? Of course you can. It's so generic. You don't even need anyone, or you don't even have to speak with anybody. Nature has made everything so simple, but it's the human mind, the abstract thing, which wants to make it complicated. Everything is very simple, only if you have the eyes to see that, if you understand. So if you can just do it, do it. You are breathing anyway, isn't it? Either way you are breathing, whether you are aware of your breathing or you are not aware of your breathing, you are breathing either way. Is that a fact or it's not a fact? You tell me. It's a fact. So just become aware. Even if you are laying, just become aware for some time. Do not think about other people, if they are happy or sad. It's not going to change anything what you are going through right now. Turn your attention inwards. And how do you turn your attention inwards? A thought would rise, oh, look at Michael. Or a thought would rise, look at Rita or Elizabeth or Karen or whoever, They seem so happy. A thought would rise. Thought obviously is rising because it's trying to work you up on the same mind, because mind does not like, or mind hates when it's not in function. Your thought cannot survive without your focus. You know that. Do not give the focus to this thought. This thought is not, it's important to listen to the thought. As I said in the same retreat, maybe it is prompting you to do something. There's something going on in your surrounding, that understandable. But if the thought is saying, look at Michael, Rita, or whoever, they are so happy, and look at you, what you are doing nothing, you see. Yeah, you are doing nothing because you are going through with something, It's not necessary to do something all the time anyway. Sometimes you can just sit and breathe, you see, and you don't board on the thoughts, and you are initiating meditation. Look, quitting, religion would condemn you, thinking about this extreme or quitting. The difference between a religious person, the difference between a religious person and a spiritual person. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you? The difference between a religious person and a real spiritual person is a real spiritual, mind you. I'm again putting emphasis. A real spiritual person brings clarity in you. Religious person thumbs the books, basically. Religious person tells you you would go to hell if you commit this action. And a real spiritual person, basically, it looks very profoundly, very, very profoundly at the matter. So you have clarity. A religious person would give you false confidence, basically, that cannot take you anywhere. You would have confidence because you would have faith. It's whether it's your experience or it's not your experience. That's what faith is, isn't it? Whether you know something through your experience or you do not know, you just believe. That's what faith is, isn't it? Isn't it what faith is? But a religious person basically wants you to know it through your own experience and brings clarity. Extreme thinking about, God forbid me, giving up or quitting, if you understand. Extreme, or God forbid me, thinking about quitting. It's not wise at all through the perspective of spirituality or mysticism, the one I personally. It's time for me to appear in a private session, but we'll carry on. I would finish it. I still have a few minutes. I conduct private meditation sessions. In those meditation sessions have made tremendous change in people's life. They are more happier. They are less scared. Their mind does not race. And they thank me in the worst possible way. But I say I am much obliged. Just send your thank and your energy and healing to those who needs it. You see, I already have it tons. I can send it to the entire universe. Anyway, moving on. I would bring clarity. I want thumb books. In every culture, in every religion, there is a factor of condemnation about the extreme steps or quitting, if you understand. But I am telling you through the perspective of a real spiritual person and mysticism, the one basically I practice. I practice mysticism. I practice Hinduism. And I am a very proud Hindu. Anyway, when somebody thinks that they are their body, I want you to pay extreme attention to what I'm about to tell you. It would liberate you and would bring clarity in you. When somebody thinks that they are their body and they are their mind, they are obviously overwhelmed by the mind, isn't it? Isn't it why they go through with all these phases? Because the activity in the mind brings the feelings and emotions of sadness, of compulsion, isn't it? It's mind. So what happens? They think I am the mind, isn't it? Mind is thought. Please know that. Your mind is thought. When there is no thought present, there is no mind present. Thought is always in time. Always, thought is always in time. When you don't have a thought, you are in eternity. You are with sacred. I do that all the time, by the way, and I can teach you how to do it. That's what we understand as meditation. Thought is mind. Please understand that. Thought is not what mind does. Thought is literally what I'm saying. Thought is what mind is. Thought, just like the sun. Shining is not what sun does. Shining is what sun is. If there is no shining, there is no sun. Isn't it? I mean, would you know something called sun if there is no shining? Would you? I'm asking you. Do not answer me. Just understand and pay attention and focus to the words I'm telling you. Would you know something is called sun? Would you know would you know something is called sun if there is no shining? Would you? No, you wouldn't. So hence it is perfectly legitimate and rational to say that shining is sun. Can we agree to that or no? I would leave it to you. Just like that, if there is no thought, There is no mind. Thought is mind. Thought is always in time, whether what has happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. What's happening around you in the very moment, in the very nanosecond, in the very moment when you are perceiving through your five senses. I can bet this life, this Jivan or carnation, you cannot have the thought. Thought always, with the passage of nanoseconds, it follows you. Always after, but not never before. When you don't have a thought, you are in eternity. That's what meditation is. You are one with the source of everything. That's why I carry so much energy, because I'm one with the sacred. I'm one with the source of everything. And you can be like that too. Okay. Now, the clarity I'm going to bring is basically that through the perspective of thought, or through the perspective of mind, which is the same thing, in much clearer picture, you think that you are the thought. Oh, I do not, some guy, some idiot, I don't want to use any generic term, some French philosopher, some idiot, basically said, I think so, I exist. Oh yeah? Literally, I have not a single thought for numerous hours. There are yogis in India, not here. There are real yogis in India, the karma yoga or different type of yogis and meditators and sannyasis. They don't have thought for months in their mind. Do you know that? A single thought. They don't have it for months. Whether you believe it, you don't believe it, it makes no difference to them. Or does it? Anyway, does it mean they stop existing? When I am in a profound state of meditation, which is understood as samadhi, profound, I have no thought whatsoever. Good thought. Am I feeling good? Am I feeling bad? I'm getting really horny right now. All these things. We all go through with these phases, but I'm just saying in meditation, when you become one with sacred, there is no such thing as horny or good or bad. There is just I exist, and that's all it is. Very light state of the being, or bliss, if you understand. And I go through, I don't have a thought for numerous hours sometime. Am I not existing? Do I disappear or something? Hmm? Of course, people witness me. People witness me even that time. It means I am existing, isn't it? So this idiot French philosopher said that I think so, I exist. I just discarded, literally not long ago. I just discarded what he claimed, just discarded. And you also refute the synonymous word for discard. I refuted it through my wisdom. No, you exist, so you may think. Now it's your choice whether you want to think or not. I sit for numerous hours without a single thought in my mind. I exist. I very much exist. People witness me existing. So you think, however, the person who is hopeless, going through depression or different type of disorders, or even physical, unfortunately, diseases, and all this is our karma, my loved ones. But we can do something about it, yet we are in our body. That's all I'm saying. But the person who understands that I am the body and mind does not realize you are something way beyond the body and mind. Body and mind is there because of your karma. Body is there because of your karma. You understand that? And mind and body are the very tools through which you can transcend your karma. The very karma, you see the irony in that? The very karma, you can transcend that through mind and your body. You see, so this is a very precious, this is a very, very valuable opportunity for you while you still have mind and you still have the body. Once you lose the luxury of the body, now there remains only mind, which actually carries all, still the disorders, which carries still everything that you were trying to get rid of, because you were assuming, sadly and unfortunately, that you are your mind and you are your body. If you get rid of the mind and body, God forbid me 1,000 times, then it would end. Much like an atheist person thinks, if you understand. But that would not end. That does not end there. It never ends until unless you do something about it. And the only time when you can do something about it is the only time you can do something about it right now is the very while you still are in the very body and mind. I do not know how much clearer that I can make it for you to comprehend. You see how much clearer these making it very clear. You have the body and mind, so you can take care of the karma, the disorders, and the disease. Once you end that, you do not have the opportunity no more to take care of the karma. The very karma that is attached, the karma is not attached to your body. Make no mistake, the karma basically is not attached to your body. The karma is attached to you. You are not your body. The karma carries with the Atman, the word Hindi or Sanskrit. The karma carries with the Atman. The karma carries with the soul. It's imprint on it. It does not go nowhere. With whether you are in the body or you are without body. As a matter of fact, on the contrary, if you are without body and you left, God forbid me, in a way, it would intensify. Whatever the feelings you were carrying, it would intensify. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to show you a rather more clear picture. You know why? Imagine I'll give you an example. Imagine that you have a troublesome thought in your mind. You understand you cannot hold a thought more than a few seconds, but it's a predominant thought which is scaring you. Either it's scaring you, or either it is trying to seize the very expression of your life by planting fear in you, some type of thought that using illusions and delusions. Thought usually does that, and trying to stop the expression of your life. So, what happens is if you give in to the thought, it would intensify. But if you stop right there and you use the reasoning mind, you see, now you have, when you are in your body, you understand, when you are in your body, you have that faculty open. You have basically that option very open when you are in your body, that you can reason within. Isn't it a fact, or it's not a fact? You tell me. You have a reasoning option. A reasoning, you have a reasoning option, a reasoning faculty in your brain through which you can reason. You can reason and you can get out of the whatever the English word you want to use, the predicament or the problem you are having. You would reason. You would reason within through the luxury of your brain. You would reason within and you would come out of it, isn't it? Through the luxury of your brain, you would reason and you would come out of it and you would feel some relax. You see, you say, yeah, no, I don't think that's the case, or any number of lines along those lines. Remember, when the body is gone, the reason, now you understand the reasoning aspect, which the option was open before. The reasoning, the very logical aspect, which was in somewhere programmed in the brain, the reasoning aspect is gone. The discriminatory aspect is gone now, because it brain is an organ which is in the body. The body is gone, that is gone. So whatever the feeling we lived for the most part, whatever the feeling we lived for the most part of our life, you understand, that imprints. It goes through layers and layers, the mind, then it goes through um, the memory which is ingrained, or all this is karma that makes Atman. It is still there. If we lived for most of our life in depression, in sorrow, in grief, you see, it becomes a part of the tendency which imprints. Body is gone, but that intact is still, and it, excuse me, what the word I'm looking for, it amplifies. If you understand, it amplifies, because now you cannot reason. Do you see logic? Do you see basically the truth I am telling you? Do you understand? The reasoning aspect is gone. So if anything which is, it would just amplify. If you lived your life in happiness, if you enjoyed your moment, if you did not concern yourself with the objects around you, if you didn't try to make sense out of objects that includes your body, or if you didn't try to make, if you kept yourself free and vacant for the most part without having to involve in some type of mind or psychological drama, it's natural only you would perceive happiness. It's not that you are perceiving happiness from outside. The happiness is your birthright. Birth. Have you given birth? Have you ever heard a term birth? Happiness is your birthright. Happiness is what your fundamental state is. So it becomes more prominent, and it imprints also on the state of the being that you are. So when that person dies, obviously that person is not gonna think of extreme, because you are missing the point. The person is happy. You see, when that person leaves the body, or the bodily demise, I'm reluctant to use the word death, that feeling also amplifies the feeling of happiness, the feeling of bliss, the feeling of joy, or at the very least, person always was vacant and very light without psychological drama. That also amplifies, you see, amplifies very quickly, because now there is no time, very quickly. When that happens, we say this person in heaven, because it's just the feeling, it's just the state of the being which is amplifying. And we say this person is in heaven. And the person who was depressed got overwhelmed, unfortunately and sadly, and thought about extreme, you see, God forbid me, thought about taking extreme measures or optioning out, living in a delusion that it would end as soon as I do that. That would not end. It would also, that grief, unfortunately, that depression, the feeling of being anxious or anxiety, or the feeling of obsession, it would also amplify. You see, it would also amplify without the luxury of reasoning mind. Then we say this person is in hell. You understand more clearly? Heaven or hell is not a physical place there you would go. Heaven or hell is the state of the being, which amplifies only after when we leave the body. Whatever the tendencies we lived through, whatever the tendencies that were printed on our karma, we would progress by those tendencies. I cannot make it I cannot make it much simpler than I already have made it. And you know it. You know it deep down. So do not think about something which is detrimental to your spiritual growth, and it would bring pain and misery, more misery. Do something while you still have the opportunity. And what is the opportunity? Your body. What is the opportunity? That you still are in the body. What is the tool? What is your tool to do something about these things? That you are still in the body. So do not quit. Do not think of extreme measures. If you have any questions, if you are perplexed about something, if you are in a state of confusion, or you misunderstood, remember I told you, remember the word remember. I told you numerous times before that words are very clumsy, but my words maybe have a little more potency, because they are coming straight from the source to bring clarity in your perception. I have, if you are perplexed, if you are confused about something, if you are in a state of confusion, if you misunderstood something that what I said, you can write me and I would clarify. And you write me 100 times, I would write you back 100 times. Please understand that. I am that devoted to bring clarity in human perception, because I love you. I always have, and I always keep loving you, if you understand. Meditate, take right measures, hang in there, do the right thing. Hang in there and do the right thing. Even if you have to do something small, do not listen to the mind which says, look what you are doing with your life. Your neighbor is so happy, and those are so happy. Look what you are going through. Do not listen to it. It's all drama, you see, mind drama. Do not listen to it. You don't have to listen to the thoughts that abused you. You understand? You crying out for help, and I am the help here. Do not listen to these abusive thoughts. Only listen to the thoughts which only listen to the thoughts which either are prompting you, excuse me, either prompting you to take care of something in your surroundings on the immediate basis. Listening is very important. Otherwise, if you discard it, it would keep coming back. So listen to the thought, and then you can decide what you want to do with the content of the thought. If it is a useless thought, if it is bringing fear in you, oh, look, that guy looks creepy, he can hurt me, and all that. No, you need to ask questions. The more you know, not the knowledge that you are given, but the more you see clearly, that's what I meant, the more you know. And the less suffering there is when you have the awareness, Everything requires practical, everything, you see. I can sit here and tell you the stories all day long, but let's do some meditation. Feeling better now? I'm sure you are. ओम ओ शिवा मेरे को शक्ति दे ओ काली माँ मेरे को शक्ति दे काली माँ मेरे को शक्ति देने का चल मेरे को शक्ति दे काली माँ मेरे को शक्ति दे महादेवा मेरे को शक्ति दे when you are in a state of meditation, please understand, when you are in a state of meditation, your mind would rise, your thought or mind would rise, and your thought and mind would subside, and it would try to trick you by telling you something is very significant right now that you need to take care of. Do meditation first thing in the morning, go around the house and check everything in detail. If nothing is to be taken care of, then perform meditation and tell your mind, you can tell me useless things, but you trust yourself more when you witness something, isn't it? When you go, you have the evidence, you witness something, you trust yourself more, you see. Mind would try to distract you in whichever way possible, but you trust yourself. You look around, you see there is nothing which requires my immediate attention. And if there is something which requires your immediate attention, then take care of that and then perform meditation. But first thing in the morning is good because you have less distraction. You have not made the contact, you have not made the context. You are not exposed to the knowledge of the day in the beginning of the day. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Oh. Om Shiva, Om Shanti. Just remember, just remember the word remember, and always remember that I love you. I always have, I always will.